Hi everyone! Today I will talk about Turning Red, a Pixar animated film released in 2022 and directed by Domishi. Before I begin the analysis, I want to share a short background about the director because her life and experience strongly shaped this movie. Domishi is a Chinese-Canadian filmmaker who grew up in Toronto after moving from Chongqing, China when she was a child. Because of this cross-cultural background, she often writes stories that talk about family pressures, identity, and cultures, especially from the perspective of daughters in immigrant families. Domishi started working at Pixar as a storyboard artist for films like Inside Out, and later created Bao in 2018, a short film that won an Oscar. This made her the first woman to direct a Pixar short, and then later she became the first woman to direct a Pixar features film alone with Turning Red. And many people says that her films feel warm, emotional, and relatable because she puts real memories and cultural background into her works. Now, let's talk about the movie itself. Turning Red tells the story of Mei Li, or we call Mei Mei, a 13-year-old girl who suddenly transforms into a big red panda whenever she feels strong emotions. At first, she sees her panda as an embarrassing problem, and she tries to hide it from her mother, Ming, who expects her always to be calm, responsible, and perfect. But as the story continues, Mei Mei begins to understand that the panda is not just an animal. It represents her true feelings, her growing identity, and the emotional history of her family. Even though Turning Red is a fun and colorful animation, it actually explores a serious multicultural issue that many young people experience in today's life. And in this video, I will focus on three main issues shown in the film. One is cultural expectation, number two is generational trauma and emotional pressures, and three is balancing multiple cultures as multicultural teenagers. I will explain each issue using a specific scene from the film and show how the scene acts as an evidence. So let's start with the first issue. The first issue that appears strongly in Turning Red is cultural expectations. Mei Mei grows up with high expectations from her mother and her family cultures. She studied hard, gets good grades, helps at family temple, and tries to stay polite and always controlled. But inside, she also wants to enjoy her own interests such as boy bands, drawings, and her friends. Now for the evidence.
Is everything okay? Don't come in here! What's going on, honey? Are you sick? Is it a fever? A stomachache? Chills? Constipation?
No!
Wait, is it that? Did the red peony bloom?
No! Maybe?
Now, this is the moment when Mei Mei wakes up and discovers she has turned into a red panda. She's very shocked, she hides in the bathroom and desperately tries to calm down. Her mother knocks on the door because she thinks Mei is hurt, while Mei Mei tries to hide her panda body and her emotions at the same time. This scene clearly represents cultural expectation against Mei Mei's personal identity. And in many Asian cultures, children are expected to always follow rules, be obedient, and present a controlled, proper self to make their family proud. However, here Mei Mei is starting to build her own identity, and she wants to express her interests more freely. Scholar Stuart Hall explained that identity is formed through different cultural forces that sometimes do not match, and Mei Mei experienced this mismatch directly. So this scene proves the issue because it shows that Mei Mei's personal identity is growing in a different direction than the expectation her mother sets. She wants freedom and self-expression while her family expect her to be disciplined with the traditions. And these conflicts build the foundation of the story. The second issue is generational trauma, which means emotional wounds or pressure passed down from earlier generation without it being fully healed. And this issue appears strongly in Mei Mei's relationship with her mother, Ming. And here is the movie clip evidence.
It was quite destructive. And big. She almost took out half the temple.
You saw it?
Only once. She and your grandma had a terrible fight.
Over what?
So in the scene, Mei Mei and her father talk about the panda and about her mother past. The scene is important because it explains why Ming, her mother, is so strict and protective on Mei Mei. She is not controlling because of the culture. She is controlling because she does not want Mei Mei to repeat her past mistake. And in Turning Red, the panda becomes a metaphor for strong emotions and unspoken pain. And every woman in the family has a panda, which shows that emotional struggle continue from one generation to the next generation. And the scene proves the issue because it shows that Mei Mei does not only deal with her own emotions, she also carries the emotional history of her family. To grow, she needs to separate her own feelings from her mother's fears, which is why she needs emotional break to heal the cycle. The third issue shown in the film is balancing more than one culture, something that many teenagers experience in multicultural societies. So Mei Mei grew up in Canada, surrounded by modern trends, freedom, and self-expression, but she is also deeply connected to her Chinese family traditions. Here is the movie clip evidence.
What are you doing here?
I couldn't do it. The panda's a part of me, and you guys are too.
May, you threw us under the bus.
I know, and I'm sorry. I've been obsessed with my mom's approval my whole life. I couldn't take losing it. But losing you guys feels even worse.
So after she done the ritual and failed, she chooses to show up as the panda in the concert. She meets her friends and being happy in front of everyone. Mei Mei is not forcing herself to choose between cultures. Instead, she finds a way to combine them. She accepts her panda, which is her emotion, her cultures, and also her family history, but still enjoying her teenage interest. Scholar Homi Baba called this the third space, which is a space where someone creates a personal identity from many cultural influences instead of using just one. This improves the issue because it shows that being multicultural does not mean losing one culture or choosing only one side. Instead, it is about creating space for all part of yourself and being confident about the results. After analyzing these scenes, we can understand that Turning Red is more than a cute animation. It is actually a story about finding balance between cultures, family, and personal identity. And from Mei Mei transformation, we learn that growing up is not just about becoming older, but it is also about deciding who we want to be while respecting where we came from. Personally, after watching and analyzing the movie, I realized that cultural pressures and family expectation can feel heavy, but they are also full of love and history. Mei Mei teach us that we can honor our family without losing our own voice. We do not have to be perfect to be loved, and we do not have to hide our emotions to show respect. In the end, Mei Mei accepts her panda because it represents all parts of herself, including the parts that are messy, emotional, and imperfect. And that is what makes her human. And maybe that is what makes us human too. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this analysis. See you!